Been in that situation all too well. And I'm only 23. I'm a little bit on the younger side, but I can relate to so many people that are between the age of 25 to 35 because not only have I worked with so many people, but I've experienced the same experiences as them. I got into sales around 18 years old. I got into a relationship where I truly thought I was gonna marry this person. But then on a random Thursday night, we're both sitting on the couch, we're both watching TV. I'm sitting here on my phone, she's sitting there on her phone, and I just feel like the love is dying. And I keep having these thoughts of, oh, I could be working on my business. I could be doing something ambitious. We could be going on a night out, maybe dinner, maybe going to do something fun. But instead, we're not. We're being comfortable. And that was the fear that my childhood mindset always had, was being comfortable. And it's not like I was, scared of breaking up with her or scared of this lifestyle. It's just the fact that going through the motions was so much easier. Being comfortable was so much easier than leaving a relationship, than getting myself out of it. And I'm not saying that every relationship you need to get out of it if it's keeping you stagnant. There's ways that you can go about it. There's ways that you can bring the spark back, bring the ambition back, make sure that you both are level-headed. But what I'm saying is there's too many relationships out there that go through comfort. You see all your friends getting engaged, you see all your friends getting married, but instead you're just sitting there like, man, I'm going through the emotions because I don't really know exactly what to do. I'm comfortable with where I'm at. Nothing's like telling me I need to leave. It's not the worst situation in the world, but you're keeping yourself stuck. And I truly want to break that down in this video. If you guys don't know who I am, my name is Jonathan. Do a lot of sales, high-tech coaching, everything like that. I also do coaching with people that are stuck in their old identity, relationship, vices, environment, everything like that. And we break out of their routine within 90 days. You guys all have heard different coaches say that. That's a little bit about me. So a little bit more about me though is I was in a relationship for 3 years. I was in a relationship with someone that I truly thought I was going to marry. We both had a job that was, being successful. We both were pushing each other within that first year. But then something flipped and we became stagnant. And day by day, we honestly started to hate each other. It's like when we would come home, we would just be, okay, we're coming home. It wasn't no excitement. And in my new relationship and the one that I'm currently working on, there's excitement every single day because we're both ambitious. We're both pushing each other. We're both making sure that we're not sitting here comfortable. Every single week we have multiple dates because we know that this life we're building, it's truly going to be one of a kind. You're only living on this earth once and you have to make the most of it. And that's why I want to break down this video so many people can understand the importance of it. But let's say that you're in my situation. You've been with her for 3 to 4 years. She's a good person. Your families love each other. They know each other. And you're not too unhappy enough to leave her, but you just feel flat. You feel like you had these goals. You feel like you've had these ambitions. Maybe it was getting certain hobbies. Maybe it was getting a certain type of physique. Maybe it was upgrading your career and becoming a CEO of a company within 10 years. But the fact is you got comfortable. And it's that comfortability in a relationship, it will overlay in other aspects of life. Because I was comfortable in this certain relationship. Next thing you know, I stopped working on my physique. And I've always wanted to get a ripped physique since I was 15. Next thing you know, I started playing video games in my free time with her. Wasn't the best thing to do, but I decided, hey, let's fill this void. Let's fill this time with something that I used to do when I was a child. A habit that I broke, but I decided to jump back into it. Worst decision I could have ever made. And it's like every part of my life, I didn't really have my own goal. It was more of like our goals. And I sat back and I was thinking, I was like, what do I truly want in this relationship? And this was around a period where I lost my father, I lost my grandma, I lost my brother, and then she ended up cheating on me. And I was like, now I really got to know, what do I want for myself? Because it's either you're going to get cheated on or you're going to stay comfortable your entire life, or you're going to break out of it, push each other to become the best, or break out of it and push yourself to become the best. And the choice is truly yours. You can't just make life decide what's going to happen to you. You have to grab life by the balls and tell yourself, hey, this is the decisions that I'm going to make. I want this better for me, or you're going to have to let it push you around. The reason that there's a 1% is because 99% of people let life push them around. And that's the goal of this video, to make sure you fucking realize that you can do exactly what you want if you have the mindset and the cognitive ability to make that fucking switch. So I will say comfort, it doesn't feel like a trap because it's warm. It doesn't feel like a trap because, you know, it's soothing. It's nice. It doesn't feel like it's like something that's going to crowd your life and completely take control of it. But that's the whole fucking misconception with it. Because it's warm, because it's comfortable, that's what makes it the fucking trap. And next thing you know, all your goals are gone, all your ambitions are gone, and you've dropped from this high level person to this mediocre person. And that's exactly who I was. I was ambitious, I was doing these things, but next thing you know, within a few years, I fucking couldn't even look at myself in the mirror because I wasn't the person that I truly designed my life around. Next thing you know, I designed my life around her. I designed my life around a comfortability. And I was looking at all the people around me and they were ambitious or they were going through the same things. And I just wasn't happy with where I was. And so finally, when things broke off, I decided enough's enough. Now it's time to fucking take control, and it was the best decision of my life. Since then, started my own business, upgraded my sales career, making over 6 figures a year at age of 23, doing everything that I can. Graduated high school with a business degree, getting the best physique of my life, coaching people and actually having fulfillment because their lives have completely changed. My whole entire identity has completely switched, and it's more fulfilling because I decided to take the fucking risk and tell myself comfortability is what kills a man. And I wasn't gonna let it kill me. So what I want you to know is your identity, it is slowly outsourcing itself into your relationship. Your identity is, instead of having your own, it's saying, okay, I'm gonna crowd around this relationship and this is gonna be my new identity. Succumbing to the vices, succumbing to the comfort, succumbing to this other person, which isn't always horrible, but there's a reason why some people are more successful than the other. It's because they truly have full control of their life. And you can't let your identity switch just because of a relationship. When I got into this relationship, I told myself, I'm gonna make sure that I'm still working on my business 24/7, you know, the goals that I want. I'm still gonna have fun with my friends and make sure that I get my alone time because that's my peace. I'm gonna make sure that we still have dates every single week because that's what makes the fulfillment and the enjoyment out of the relationship. I set these standards for myself. And just because I changed my environment, just because I changed my relationship, just because I changed my situation, doesn't mean those standards drop. The 4-4-4 method, the 90-10 lifestyle, which I talk about in my other videos and inside my Instagram. So if you want to know a little bit more about me, check my daily reports, everything like that. Check out my Instagram. It is in the link in the description. But those standards stay through all outputs of life, whether it's traveling, whether it's a relationship, whether it's with my family, whether it's through something that happens that's horrible for me. All my standards will stay the same. And that's how I truly made sure that no matter what goals I set for myself, I know I can truly achieve them. And again, when's the last time you've asked yourself what your goals are in life? When's the last time you've took yourself in a third person perspective and realized, where do I want to be in 5 years? Do I want to be continuing these actions? And will these actions that I continue each and every day lead up to a congratulations in 5 years? Will it lead up to my future self looking down and being happy with the decisions I made? Because when I asked myself that, it wasn't the fucking case. And I had to take a step back and realize I need a fucking change. And so I stopped that. I broke out of the identity. I started working my ass off, started waking up early, started going to the gym, started making sure that my time is my time and I'm not gonna let someone else take it, you know? And for some people, that's leaving the relationship. For some people, it's having a sit down talk and telling that person, hey, this is not the life I want, and we're gonna fucking build the life that I want to the point where our kids are grateful for the fucking parents that they have. And I'm only 23. By the time that I'm 30, by the time that I'm 40, I'm gonna be fucking insane. Like truly, because I have that in my fucking mind. I'm gonna become someone that someone in my family doesn't even recognize. You know, I grew up very poor, grew up, you know, lights getting cut off, grew up boiling water to take a bath, you know, and only once a week. You know, I haven't had the best upbringing. But I guarantee you that's the reason that I have this fucking mindset. It's because I grew up difficult and I will make the best of the life that I'm given. And so now you realize, like, the tragedy, it's not the relationship. It's that you'll stay in it, this comfort zone, past the point where it costs you who you're becoming. You know, you've told yourself you're going to become here, but now in your relationship, and your relationship's getting past that point and it's dropped who you're gonna become. That's when I truly think it's become a tragedy and it's the worst thing that can happen. Not because you love her too much to leave her, but because you're afraid of yourself without comfort. And that's the epitome. You need to make sure that you're uncomfortable. As I say, you need to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. The man that can do that grows his mid-anterior cingulate cortex, which is the part of the brain that grows anytime you do something uncomfortable. And when you grow that, your life is going to expand in every way possible. So hopefully you realize now that a lot of the times it's just comfort's the killer. Comfort's the reason that so many men stay in the disgusting life that they have. And I had to break out of it. Luckily, I did it when I was 21. I'm now 23. And it could have killed me. But now I help men do the same, preferably between the ages of 25 to 35, because those who I can actually relate to, as I'm very mature for my age. And I've worked my ass off 60 to 80 hours a week. But if you're someone younger, then you can DM me as well. You can click the link in the description. You can book a strategy call with me and we can sit down. But I'm telling you, it only takes 90 days to completely switch your identity and become that fucking man. And once you become that man and learn like all the strategies, the fulfillment, the modules, the dashboards that I have created, you're going to realize that you can stick that standard throughout the rest of your life and fully adapt on it. Next thing you know, you're proud, your relationship's proud, your family's proud, and then your kids are proud of you. And I'm telling you, that's the goal that we should be achieving for. So if you want to learn a little bit more about me, click the link in the description, book a strategy call with me. This is where we sit down for about 30 minutes. You learn a little bit about me, I learn a little bit about you, and then I'll show you if we're a good fit, how the 90 days will look, and how we'll guarantee success, or I end up coaching you guys for free. So this is Jonathan. I'll see you guys in the next video. Check out my Instagram, leave a comment about what you kind of took from this, how it affects your life, and if there's something that's keeping you stuck, because the first thing that you can do is making a move. So the move should be leaving a comment, following my Instagram, or booking a sales call, most importantly, with me. So I'll see you guys in another video.